Greetings, it's Miss Coconut. Welcome to my weekly oracle session. This week, we are dealing with the blockages that occur and prohibit prosperity in relationships. Yes, this is about love and how we are relating to those that we are closely knit with. I have segmented it so that we are addressing the cards this week by the sign. So you're going to figure out which element you fall under, and that will be your message for this week of August 26th, 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. Some of this may resonate with you, some of it doesn't. But if you take a grain of it and apply it, I believe it's going to be worthwhile. Thank you for joining me, Earth signs. So, I'm speaking to Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns. Now, we know that you are mostly solid people, capable of making great choices in life because you value security. However, some of the blockages that are occurring in your relationships will deal with the fact that, against your better judgment, you are making terrible choices for yourself. So let's get into that energy. The first thing I want to deal with would be the Three of Spades energy here. When you see this, you are looking at setbacks, obstacles to your growth. You are looking at the idea that you're comfortable being a side chick or a side piece or a side man, and you've allowed bitterness to set in because of that. This is about relationships that are secret. Okay, so maybe you've been in a relationship with someone that's married or unavailable to you that way, or maybe they're hiding you under the guise of they're being private. So it's time for you to deal with the bitterness that you've been holding in. A lot of what I see with this type of earth energy is the fact that when you make a decision, even when you know it's wrong, you tend to dig in your heels because you don't like to let go. But the number 3 is about Trinity. So it's about being whole spiritually, physically, emotionally, okay? So it's time to get rid of the third party energy in your love life. You have to know that you're better than that. You have to know that you are greater than that, and you deserve a love of your own. That was an old song. A love of your own. Anywho, let's look at the Oracle, Gypsy Oracle now. It's depicting an old woman. She's sitting in her chair. She looks pretty comfortable, right? And this sort of speaks to that whole thing that we know that the earth signs tend to be ambitious, hard workers, okay? I mean, look at Capricorn. That's the greatest of all time. They definitely love their aspiration journey, so they're very career oriented. They are about schooling. A lot of Caps definitely pursue education as a means to get more money and have a comfortable life. Taurus, it's all about material pleasures, and Virgo, they love to eat well. But this card is saying you have to be wise in your choices. You have to do better because you are feeling now you're running out of time. As if this last relationship, you thought it was going to be the end all be all, and it turned out to be very different for you. And you're wondering at this point in your life, what could you be doing differently with people? Because you're eager, you are a great communicator. You pay attention to them. So what are you not giving them that's making them turn on you? Well, part of the problem is that, again, against your better judgment, you are picking people that are not good for you because you're looking on the external. You have a tendency to pick people based on how they're looking, how they look on paper, and you are uncovering the fact that all that glitters definitely is not gold. And my last oracle deals with the energy of the Page of Swords. Let me move these out the way. And this depicts the Hounds of Hell card, okay? So that's the Hounds of Hell card. And this speaks to the demonic, okay, presence of people that come along your journey to mess you up. So these demons of hell are there to drag you down because they see how hard you've worked. These are the people that latch on to you because they see you as sugar daddy or sugar mama potential. They want you to take care of them. They want to take your money. They want to take you for everything you have. So their energy is not one of somebody that you're looking to build with, because we know earth signs are builders. You know, this type of energy are for those who keep allowing people to take as vampires from them. Or you'll hear a sob story and say, oh, I'm just going to help him right now. He doesn't have a car, so he can use my car. Well, that's all great until he starts using your car to go see the other woman. Or you say, you know, she has 2 children. I want to help her get through school, and it's all fine. And then she, you know, gets through school, leaves you with the children. They're not even your child. And she's off at the south of France celebrating her graduation. So look at making better choices, okay? You're too curious sometimes about the seedier things of life, and once you get into your mistake, you have a tendency not to want to change because you hate change. Taurus, you hate change. You will settle in with very bull-like aptitude, and you will hang on for dear life when you're being dragged through the mud. So the energy of your card reading earth sign is to let go, make better choices. Welcome air signs. We love our air signs, right? They are the liberators and the balancers of the zodiac. But we also know they have a tendency to be a little detached. So let's look at some of the blockages that are holding them back. The first up we see is this 8 of clubs. We're dealing with karma, air signs. Some of you are reaping what you've sown, but some of you keep buying into the notion that this is your karma. It is not your karma. It is their BS, and you have to let it go. Stop getting into relationships with folks that are inappropriate. Air signs have the tendency to pick people they have to help, they have to heal, they have to uplift to the detriment of themselves. They will find themselves in the gutter just to say, I helped someone. You have to deal with the karma of your actions now because you refuse to put yourself first. The number 8 speaks to infinity, ideas, new beginnings. Sometimes I think air signs start over so much and go through so many relationships because they don't want to deal with the fact that they're out of balance. Okay? They are out of balance. So we're dealing with also inappropriate relationships in the workplace. Yes, the workplace. So the house husband, the work husbands, the work wives, anything that's inappropriate. You're sharing too much of yourself in the workplace. You have to stop. It's not going to lead to anything good, okay? You also have to learn how to speak your truth in love. Work on your delivery, air signs. We know you're the messenger, especially you, Gemini. We know you're the messenger of the gods. But even, God at times in the Bible has tempered his words. Not all the time, but sometimes. So look at the audience you're speaking to, the type of mate you have, and learn how to have a better delivery. Oftentimes, air signs, you're too inside of yourself. People think you don't have a heart. I want you to show a softer side, okay? Show a softer side to yourself. And also stop getting into relationships that are built on potential. You keep picking mates because you see their potential, but you're not God. You don't have a potter's wheel to put the clay on. You cannot mold them and shape them into what you desire them to be. That's why your expectations continuously get let down. You are constantly dealing with rejection. It is not because you're no good. It is because you settle. You settle too much. You find someone and you say, oh, they have long hair. Perfect. That works for me. They're the awesome mate for me. Or you look at a guy and say, you know, oh, he likes French fries. Yay. No, you deserve more. You should want more. And you have to learn how to get more for yourself. So this card, this 8 of clubs, is about working. You have to work for what you think you desire. And you desire to be whole and healthy and happy in a relationship where you can tap into your emotions and have it reciprocated. Okay? So stop settling, air signs. And now let's look at our oracle from the Gypsy. It's the Messenger all over again. And the signs have been everywhere. You keep getting the signs. And you refuse to learn the karmic lesson from the last one. When the patterns repeat, you have to do something different. You keep picking the same type of person or energy, and it's not working for you. Do different, okay? Air signs, I need you to come out of your detachment so that you can grow. And the last oracle card we're working with is the 3 of Swords. Look at that, piercing the heart. It's telling you your heart chakra is out of balance, air sign. Listen, you see that? Let me tell you the story about this card. This card, first of all, the 3 of Swords is about separation, sorrow, rejection. But it's also about being prepared. Because once you're prepared, then you're able to know how to deal with life better, because now here comes your detachment. This is where you use detachment so that you are prepared. You use detachment so that you don't get overly attached in an inappropriate way to people that don't mean you any good. But the story behind this particular card deals with a woman who met a man and they had an affair. And, you know, when it's ran its course, he left her. But she could never get over it. And she kept stalking and obsessing over him, which people don't think air signs would be stalkers, but they totally can be very obsessed because some of this energy is fixed, okay? And so they can definitely have their moments of obsession like anyone else. They love to be satiated to the point with certain lovers that they can't see anything else. But anyway, even after he had moved on to another woman, she stalked him until he fell ill and died. And she stalked him in death. I mean, he could not get rid of her. And so Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, broken promises come about sometimes because we are putting too much energy in the wrong place and people. Thank you, fire signs. It's your time to shine. We know that fire signs are like the motivators of the zodiac. They're very confident, courageous people. I mean, who can diminish fire, right? Like, they just illuminate everything. And in fact, if you're ever in an argument with anyone on social media, it's probably with an Aries or Leo or Sagittarius. They naturally have the gift of gab, and they always think they're right. Let's examine how that plays out in blockages in their relationship. So we're starting, look at that, with the King of Club here. And this is going to be about destiny. So these people have a very clear sense of purpose in their lives, and they have high expectations for their lovers. So high, no one can get over it, and so wide, you can't go around it. They get so frustrated because they place people on pedestals. They think because they're royalty that their mates also have to live up to that royal standard. It's a lot of Harry met Meghan kind of energy with these people. So listen, we know that you guys love, I mean absolutely love, engaging in vigorous debates. The problem is you think you're always right, and no one wants to argue all the time over every little thing. We know you're royalty. You're used to having things your way, but relationships don't work like that. And until you learn how to compromise and humble your heart, you're never going to be able to sustain a healthy relationship, okay? Destiny says that some of the people that you've been crossing paths with have come just to teach you humility, because you refuse to learn the lessons from the previous mates, all right? So come out of that everyone has to be perfect textbook type of persona that you've been engaging in and get down with the commoners, all right? Because we're tired of y'all being frustrated all the time. You're annoyed very easily. You have bad moods. You're argumentative. And hello, ladies. No man wants a woman that is naggy. He'd rather sit on top of the roof outside when it's snowing. Get it together. So some of your blockages are going to be learning how to submit to one another in a relationship, learning how to be humble. It's okay not to be right. Even if you are right, sometimes you don't have to say it. Trust me, it's okay. Let's look at your oracle from the Gypsy card. It's the card of despair, and no wonder. I mean, can you imagine having to always be right? That takes a toll on you. Because wouldn't you rather just have that person in your life than be right? Yeah, especially if they're good to you. So a lot of times with these type of fiery energy personas, they shine, they attract. They're usually the ones on social media with large followings. People love to tune in to see what they have to say. Charismatic. But underneath, there's always this hidden depression and despair. There's always this really excessive need to want to always be perfect, so much that when they're not, they can't handle it. And so can you imagine the pressure that they're putting on their mates? So we need them to relax. The same way that you can go after your career so well and you have a clear idea, vision, plan, and implementation for your career, that's the same way we're going to need you to come after these relationships, okay? Learn how to water what you have and it's going to grow. The same way that you can journal and plan out the next 5-10 years of your career, you can apply that to your love life, okay? And learn how to take it down a notch. You are fire, so sometimes people are being burnt by your excessiveness. You're very extra. You just have to realize that. Let's look at the last oracle, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And you can see there's a forest spirit up there, and it looks like he's actually holding a pentacle. And you see he's on top, the stairs are going down, and you see an opening. So this card is definitely about abundance, right? Abundance will occur when opportunities meets preparation. You have to prepare yourself, okay? So do your cleansing, do your baths, do your grounding work so that you are not overpowering your mates when you meet them, and be prepared to water them, okay? So you have to be prepared. Maybe if you are the stronger one, you have to be prepared to lead them, to guide them, but do it in kindness and softness. There's a lot of aggression with this sign at times, and a lot of people can't handle that. So the forest spirit that you're seeing here would sometimes get in the way of the travelers and confuse them by causing storms. And I thought that was interesting because sometimes you cause your own storms and then you cry when it rains. Well, how do you want it? Which way do you want it? You have to learn how not to sabotage your own love life, okay? So you're going to deal with expectation. Learn when destiny is placing people in your path for you to grow, for you to learn, for you to cultivate. And then if destiny is placing someone in your path just for a short lesson, be okay with that as well. But at the end of the day, we just need you to work on yourself so that you're prepared for your royal match. Thank you, water signs, for joining me. So you are Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We know that you are emotional, sensitive, intuitive, nurturing. Listen, I always say no one is more attuned to spirit than a water sign. But that definitely comes with a heavy cost. So let's look at these cards. I love how the spirit works, because what a fitting card for the water signs, okay? This is the Five of Diamonds, is dealing with spirit. Fives are about your body, and it's about groups. Spirit is not just about your money and your financial luck, but it's also about how you cultivate the person within, the soul within. This is speaking directly to grudges. If you're holding on to grudges from past lovers, which water signs have a tendency to do, it's affecting you. It's affecting your body. The sickness, the illness, the migraines, the depression is coming from you and your reluctance to let go of past hurt and revenge. Your spirit is being tampered with by your lack of forgiveness. You're continuously blaming your current partners for what the last partner did, and that's why you're having trust issues. Okay? You refuse to be grateful for the little things that are being brought to the table with this new partner. And it's affecting you. And this is why you're continuously struggling in this area. Your spirit is bound. You have to let go. You have to forgive. You need to do some soul cutting, some soul ties cutting. You need to do some grounding work. And you need to come to terms with all the things that have occurred have gotten you to this point. And you have to learn to accept it. You really do. You have to learn to accept it, because you can't continue to be crushed under the weight of the enormity of the bitterness that you're holding on because of past pain and shame. So they did something to you you haven't been able to speak about. You need to get help. It is okay. Find a safe place where you can unload. Look at this. The Gypsy Oracle is coming in with the Prisoner card. And as you can see, this prisoner looks, fairly well dressed. And there is a vessel there for him to have some water. So he's a prisoner of his own doing, of his own mind. And he's showing the despair that he's feeling, because this is a very nice prison he's in, And it's showing you that sometimes you're the one that's placing yourself in captivity. Other people have gone on with their lives. That ex that you're hating so bad, they don't even think about you anymore. Your problem, water sign, is you think too much, too long, too often about the same thing. And it's time to get help and let go. It's hard for water signs to let go because they do feel things so deeply. But that's why they're very prone to depression or to smoke too much. They like to drown their sorrows. So this season is about you being liberated, being free from despair, regret, and loss. You have to let go. And your Oracle card deals with the Four of Cups, and you can see he's in the waters. This is what I'm saying. Spirit just talks. I could not have picked these cards. So for this to just all tie in so well is a definite lesson for someone. The Four Cups relates, four is foundation, first of all, okay? Or it's a table or a bed. So something has already been laid down. What has been laid down? Depression, despair, regret, loss, not letting go. Learn to let go. Be lighter. Your heart is too heavy. Be lighter. This particular card, the backstory is, this is Davy Jones' grave. That is the watery grave where the water spirits drags down the humans and consumes them into death. And you have a tendency to also do the same thing to your relationships. Oftentimes you are too much. You need to seek any type of counseling that you need to be healthy and whole, so that your partner doesn't have to bear the brunt of all of your childhood issues, all of the violence that you were shown. Okay? You this season are going to be challenged to let it go, to cut it out, to exorcise the pain. Regret. You can't have regret. You can't say what if. It is over. It is done. Be healthy. Be whole. You are trapped because you are holding on. There are certain places and people you have to let go of. There's just no getting around it. Revenge is a dish best served cold, they say. But I would like to say, oftentimes, if you can't even remember the details, it is no longer worth holding on to. Thank you for joining me for my weekly oracle session. This week we are addressing the blocks that we have to overcome so that we can have prosperous relationships in every area of our life. I hope that it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that's okay as well. But feel free to leave me feedback. I'd be happy to speak with you. Wishing you much love, success, vitality, and good health and prosperity always.